Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'd like to discuss some thoughts on the future of Superman in film. What is to come on the coattails of Zack Snyder's big, grand, epic Man of Steel, a movie that, if you watched my discussion review video, you know that I pretty much found little fault with, if any. I mean, there probably could have been little things here and there that they could have done to tidy up the story a little bit, maybe to add a little more, pathos to it and whatever. But I really have felt since the movie came out, since I was able to fortunately see it, a lot of the complaining I'm hearing about this movie is just outlandish and insane. I mean, are these people watching the same movie I saw? Because I had a completely different reaction to it. I'm hearing things about it being a joyless experience, about this being not their Superman, not the Superman they know and love. I'm hearing people saying there was too much action, too much destruction, not enough story, and all of this stuff. I mean, it's just on and on, a laundry list. And the thing of it is, I'm thinking back to Superman Returns, a movie I was uber excited to go see. I was excited when I came out of the theater seeing that movie. And in hindsight, I began to realize, there are aspects of this that just don't lend well to a future where there will be many movies about this character. There was people back then that were really complaining on the opposite end of the spectrum. You had people saying the movie was too slow, it was too boring. Superman was being very un-Superman-like to the way they know and love him. Kind of stalking Lois Lane, having an illegitimate love child with Lois Lane. You had Lois Lane who was being very un-Lois Lane-like and all this stuff. There wasn't any action. He didn't have anyone to punch. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And it's most of the same people who are coming out of the woodwork and complaining about Man of Steel, but for all different reasons. And it's just the thing that really bugs me is their polar opposite reasons. You didn't get enough action with Superman Returns. Now you got too much with Man of Steel. You didn't get enough, story with Man of Steel. You got too much and too very un-Superman-like. I mean, that's again repetitive complaints. Brandon Routh's Superman wasn't Superman enough for people, and neither is Henry Cavill for people, and I have to disagree on both fronts. I think the problem with Superman Returns and Brandon Routh's Superman was nothing to do with Brandon Routh. It was to do with Bryan Singer directing him to play Christopher Reeve playing Superman in that movie. But I digress. Basically, Hollywood's penchant is, let's go bigger and grander with the sequel, and how can they possibly hope to do that? Introducing possible villains like Doomsday, Mongol, Lex Luthor in an armor suit, Darkseid even in a Justice League framework, if a roving band of maniac Kryptonians lead to so much destruction and people are so put off by it. How can you go bigger and grander? How can you go more epic than where we began with Man of Steel? I'm really worried that people's penchant for just finding things to not like about this character in movie form are going to be his undoing, is going to be what, puts him to bed at some point. This character that, these people are so beloved of, but they don't support the comics, they don't read them all. They apparently are completely alienated by aspects of the Superman character that has been depicted in comics before that they're just not familiar with. They want Christopher Reeve only as Superman for the rest of their lives and everything like that. And it just seems to me, it smells, I smell basically the destruction of Superman as a character in the future. If people cannot understand what the tropes of this character are, set against the evolution of a character. That is what the whole movie is about, evolving this character we know and love and bringing him into the modern era, bringing him into a realistic framework. And I think he stayed true to who he would have been regardless of, all the darkness in that story. This was Superman as far as I was concerned. And I'm just concerned that, what is the next step going to be? If there's going to be more destruction at the hands of a bigger villain, are these people going to be bitching and moaning again? And will it spell a doomed fate for Superman? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, just basically ruminating on this a little bit out loud. And so that'll be it for me. I'll catch you later. Peace.